Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on the Flash movie. So we're still a whiles away from the Flash movie, being in front of us and finally hitting theaters. With it still slated for release, and I think it's like the June, July area of next year. It's either late June or early July, I think, one of the two. Anyway, June, July area of next year. So about like what, 9 or so months away. And so that's 9 or so months away until we hopefully get to see it on screen. Of course, there have been the various dramas surrounding the film star, that of course being Ezra Miller. I think some new stuff did come out last week or so about what's going on with Ezra and, where things could be heading, but I didn't really read too much into it or pay too much attention to it. I sort of lost interest because it seems like it's just constant and just a bit annoying because I think at this point Ezra isn't coming back, so there's no point really focusing too much on it. It's just really about whether it actually affects what's happening with the movie. But from everything behind the scenes, everything's moving forward. I think they're wrapping up the score for it. There's no more pickups, no more reshoots and stuff like that. So I think they're pretty happy with it. So it wouldn't surprise me too much if we get a trailer. I don't know when. I don't know if Warner Brothers has a big movie at the end of the year. I know there's Black Adam in a couple of weeks. But if there's a bigger movie towards the end of the year or beginning of next year, we'll probably get a trailer then. So yeah, it looks like everything's going good, at least behind the scenes with the other stuff outside of Ezra Miller. But one long rumored, speculated, and just I guess like hoped on piece of information surrounding this Flash movie was that there would be various cameos from around the DCEU world, as well as potentially the DC live action multiverse as a whole. And this has been, for the most part, I guess, confirmed through test screenings for the film that that's actually just going to be a thing, without specifically confirming everyone that's going to be a part of it. With some of these cameos that were seen in test screenings, or at least reported from test screenings, including Helen Slater's Supergirl from the 80s, Linda Carter's Wonder Woman, and Christopher Reeve's Superman. And I think Adam West's Batman as well, I think, from memory. And this is like done through like updated, repurposed footage from the shows or movies, from what I can recall. Like nothing was filmed new. Obviously, in the case of like Adam West and Christopher Reeve, they've passed away. So obviously they're not going to, reanimate them. So I think it's just repurposed footage, at least from those two shows, because the main actors did pass away. But one cameo that people are expecting more than anyone else is that of another Flash, that being the TV Flash, that of course being Grant Gustin. Now this was supported in some way, I think it was towards the end of 2020 or beginning of 2021. I want to say the end of 2020 because I feel like it was during like peak COVID, when Andy Muschietti, the director of the Flash film, actually followed not just Grant Gustin, but also Tom Cavanaugh on Instagram. So of course this made those who saw it, including myself, go, like that just can't be a coincidence, surely. Like just following those two? I mean, that can't be a coincidence. Now, since this point, there really hasn't been much outside of one report that said that Grant was in the movie, but it was, like the other cameos, repurposed footage from the show and just sort of like a really quick moment. But those other characters were repurposed because of age, while the show at this point, and also when the movie was being filmed, obviously, was still being made. So Grant is obviously the same now as he is on the show now. So you would surely just film something with him if you wanted him to cameo in the film. And especially because it's a Flash movie as well. Wouldn't you want another Flash there? Especially if it's multiverse, make it even bigger. And you could do more than the others due to the fact that he is a present day character, not someone from the past. He looks the same as he does on the show. Well, maybe that actually did happen thanks to something that did pop up on social media over the past day or so. Now, of course, I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say about this in the comment section down below, because it is really just a spark of discussion that this has caused, while not confirming anything. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say. But over the past day or so, there was a photo posted of Andy Muschietti by his sister, who was also a producer on the movie, that being Barbara Muschietti. And this photo has many believing that it features Grant Gustin in his Flash suit. So yeah, this definitely isn't a confirmation, but it's definitely a spark for some discussion, as I said before. So as you can see on screen, we have Andy Muschietti in his face mask, obviously saying, yeah, this is COVID, we had to wear face masks. You can see this photo, and it looks like it's on like a blue screen, green screen thing. So obviously whatever that green thing in the background is meant to be like an object or something. They use that on the TV show of The Flash as well. Now, the main thing of note is obviously that the background is blurred, and you have Andy Muschietti at the forefront to say that this is him on the set of The Flash. Now, the thing with this is that the photo isn't a weird focus thing to not include the background. So it's not like this is the actual photo that was taken. This was intentionally, sorry, blurred after the photo was taken, the background. So they're trying to hide or at least obscure specifically what is back there. And we have seen Ezra Miller's Flash suit. So you can see the Flash character in the background there. But we've seen Ezra's suit. It's a different shade of red. Also, I think it was like very like you wouldn't be able to get into this position here, like kneeling down in his Flash suit, because that's just not the way it worked. Apparently, he would have to wear like a motion capture suit, at least in different areas. I don't know if you would be getting down to this area, and also there's too much gold on that boot area. And if you've seen Ezra Miller's suit, it's not. It's sort of like it's like cut up. Like there's golden red, golden red, golden red. That's just very gold there, in my opinion. But mainly, the big thing is just the shade. The shade of red there on that suit, it just looks like Grant's suit. At least, at the very least, it's not the suit that we see Ezra wear in the trailers from what's been seen on the film. It's not the suit that Ezra wears. This is a different suit. Now, does this specifically mean that it's Grant's suit and that that's Grant there? No, it doesn't mean that specifically. But that just does not look like Ezra's suit at all. And I did see people saying, like, you can see, like, the emblem there, like on like the Flash emblem on the chest, and it looks bigger because it's blurred. It stretches out. Like you can even see on like the edges of the character or the edges of the Flash suit there. It blurs out. It looks like he's got spikes or something on him. That's because that's how like the blurring stuff works. So that's going to be the same on the emblem as well. It's going to make it look a bit bigger than it actually is. So yeah, this photo being posted has many speculating what's going on, because if this was Ezra's suit, we've already seen it, so what's the point of blurring it? Wouldn't you just post it? Like, what's the point of blurring it? We've already seen Ezra in the suit in multiple ways. It's been at conventions where photos have been taken. It's not a secret. Everyone's seen it. It's in the trailer as well. They released at Fandom, so there's no point of hiding it. So just why wouldn't you just show us here? So this is a different thing. You'd have to think just by the fact that they're hiding it and blurring it in the background and making us wonder who the hell it is. But yeah, you might disagree. You might think, nah, it's just Ezra's suit, or it's just them having some fun. But obviously, as I said, it's not confirming anything. It's just a bit of discussion because of what's been shown. But how could Grant's Flash appear? That's obviously been a big discussion as well when we talk about this type of stuff. Just because it is, with the movie stuff and how they're going to approach the multiverse. And I think one thing that a lot of people have said is like a flashback to what we saw in Crisis, but slightly altered, maybe slightly changed, like the dialogue and stuff, or it's an extended scene. But mainly, it's from the perspective of Ezra Miller's Barry Allen, instead of Grant's, like it was last time. Like that's what happened. Grant remained there after Ezra left, and they could have it where Ezra leaves, then we see where Ezra's version of Barry Allen ends up going after that. And of course, that scene in Crisis was the one in which that Barry from the DCEU or the movies gets the name of the Flash from Grant's version. He wasn't called the Flash before that, and he hadn't had that name. He gets that from the Grant version, and Jim Lee and Walter Hamada and everyone behind this movie said that that's the origin of where he gets the name the Flash. That's canon to that version of the Flash, to Ezra Miller's Barry Allen. The other option that it could be just another run-in throughout the multiverse. Maybe when Ezra's version is trying to get back to his timeline or whatever it might be, he runs into Grant's Barry. Obviously, the other option is that it could just be repurposed footage. That's the other thing. I think it depends. Because you got to remember that the Flash film during like COVID, like it would be classified as a COVID movie. When the movie comes out and you look at it, it'll be very similar to some of those other movies that were filmed during that period, where there's not a lot of extras. There might be a lot of empty scenes, like Spider-Man No Way Home, for example, just felt like there was just empty streets all the time. This movie would probably feel like that to some extent, and that would have made it very difficult to do anything with Grant, at least during the principal production of the movie. So if they did anything with Grant, it would have to have been done outside of that. Like, if not very recently, when they did pickups in May, they did do pickups. I need to actually preface this. They did do pickups with Ezra Miller as well in May in Los Angeles. Grant could have done that stuff then, which was only a few months ago, I guess. So just keep that in mind. He didn't necessarily have to go to London where they filmed the movie, because they did do pickups recently in Los Angeles, which is of course where Grant lives. But if Grant's in the movie and stuff like that, don't expect anything longer than a couple of minutes at most. Like, I think don't expect him to be a guest star for like 20 minutes of the movie. I wouldn't expect that at the very least. Like, definitely only expect like a few minutes at best, but like maybe like 1 or 2 minute cameo. I think that's what you're most likely going to get. But I think most people agree that it would be the biggest missed opportunity for this movie to not have Grant appear in the film in some way. I mean, he's beloved. Why would you not put him there? And of course, with all the drama around Ezra Miller, I think having Grant there would be even like a bigger plus now, just to add some positivity to it. But then again, based off Warner Brothers' decisions of late over the past few months, ever since the new acquisition, I mean, would it actually be a surprise for them not to have him appear? I mean, it'd probably fall in line with their bad run of decisions of late. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, based off this photo, it just does not look like Ezra's suit. It's too red. The boots look a bit different. Even the emblem looks a bit different. Even the headpiece looks a bit different. It just looks like Grant's suit. And this could be them memeing and trolling. But then what's the point of blurring it? Because I think if you troll like this, you're probably going to upset some people. Just because, people like to believe. So, I don't know, the blurred background just makes you think that they're hiding something that's specifically meant to be someone that we recognize, which I guess would be Grant, but wait and see. I guess if I don't think this is going to be one of those things that's surprised in the actual movie. I think we'd probably know beforehand whether Grant's going to be in the film or not. So I don't know if I have to wait until June, July next year to actually see whether that's true or not. I think that'll probably be confirmed earlier, but it's a wait and see until then. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on to show your support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on this. Do you think that's Grant? Do you think it's someone random? Or do you actually think it's Ezra's suit? Let me know. And of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.